So recently I saw an ad on a Nextdoor app, which is a community app, and this lady was advertising that she needed a companion and a helper for her mother that is 101 years old. Yeah, that's unusual. And she wants somebody just to be there to help her, to serve her meals, and to assist her, and just to be a companion because her daughter, she's about in her 70s and she lives in another house. So she said, in exchange for room and board, rent free, you can assist her mother with her daily chores, which she said she don't need much, just serve her breakfast and dinner, and make sure she has her TV or tablet on and things like that. So I thought, oh, that's an awesome deal, and I can save on rent. And I did this one before years ago, about 15 years ago, back in New York. And I stayed there for about 2.5 years, and I was a companion for an elderly lady with mild dementia. So they needed somebody at that time, somebody to be there in case of an emergency, or somebody to be there at night, because usually the son and the daughter, they don't live with the mother. And you know the older years, they get older, and they just need somebody to be there just in case, you know um, someone to to call the emergency if there is an emergency, or if she needs something she can't get it, you serve her and things like that. And also she has this thing that she wears around her neck. You press the button, the emergency comes. But this is an extra layer of protection, someone to be present. So I went for the interview and everything was fine. She liked me, and I showed her my certificates as an aide. And she showed me the studio. It's like private. It has a small kitchen and a bathroom, and she's gonna put furniture because the other lady, she was leaving. So I thought that is a great deal. Until later, there is nobody coming to help her because I can't do the physical stuff. She's gonna shower. She told me she's gonna shower every morning. Then when I was thinking, when I did that back in the day, I was just a companion. So I was only, they told me you can go to work in the daytime and just be there after 6, 7 p.m., even 8 p.m., somebody to be there overnight. And till the morning, the other aides come in from the agency and they do the physical work, like showering her and um, things like that. So, because I have limitations, if something happens, in the shower, I started getting nervous about the shower part. So, everything else I could do, I can make her breakfast, do the dishes, which isn't gonna be much because she said she only eat a little and she was about 90 pounds. But so those things I could do, maybe light housekeeping, doing the laundry, changing sheets, and things like that. It's not that hard. I do it myself for my own chores. So then I thought the showering part is too risky for me, because what if she's going in the shower or she's coming out of the shower? Accidents happen, and it's and something goes wrong. It's not just her that's gonna break something. It's gonna be me as well, because I don't, I look young enough, but still, I don't have the strength to hold somebody and myself at the same time. And also, my back is weak, and it's too much of a risk. So I mentioned that to her on the phone. Um, she wasn't sure. She said she's gonna probably work to get somebody, but she didn't want to pay a salary. So that's the thing. And she wasn't poor or anything like that. They lived in a nice, fancy neighborhood, actually, in a villa where they have like it's looking over a golf course. So, and then the estate, the houses there, they're expensive. It's like an expensive neighborhood. But and then she drive a Tesla. So all those things, and she didn't want to pay a salary to somebody, either private or an agency. So, that's how, I guess that's how the rich people stay rich, because they don't want to part with their money. And you know, I would think of it, it's like a necessity, it's my parent. I want to pay somebody to have her taken care of, to be comfort, to have the comfort. But anyhow, I don't know. She don't think the same way, not the same mentality. But see, I can, sacrifice that. I mean, it's not everything about money. I don't have to drive a luxury car. I can drive a small car and have somebody showering her and pay the salary needed. So, but anyhow, uh, so yeah, that was a good deal. Actually, I was gonna save 900, $1,000 a month if I had gone with it, and if she was willing to have somebody come from an agency, somebody who's strong, who can lift her, put her on a chair, and bathe her and all that. It's like taking care of a child almost, but she's an elderly. So there is a risk. In my situation, since I have a messed up back, I won't be able to do the physical part. And I thought, there's a lot of stories I read about people. It always happens in the shower because it's slippery, and with the soap, it's super slippery. Um, what if she slips or she can't hold on to something? That's gonna be an awful situation. And why would I put myself in that bad situation? I'm trying to, you know, make my life better. If I'm trying to save the monthly rent, but if it's gonna make things worse, no, thank you. So I turned down this opportunity. I could have, maybe if I was in my 20s and 30s, but then at that time, I didn't like those jobs because I didn't like working at home. It's like I used to be more active. At that time, I used to like working with public, even though I was kind of shy. So I used to work in movie theaters, offices, and things like that. I used to like being active. So it's never the right time. But then when there was a recession, I did this type of job 15 years ago because, um, yeah, it was I think because they had the agency, they were paid, the family, the lady, she had assistants. So I guess the son or the daughter, I worked both places, and they both had assistant from the agency, so they weren't actually paying because it's really expensive. I think, that salary you pay somebody to come in, and if you hire privately, even with the agents, you have to pay a lot. I think, you know, I don't know now how much it is, but it is a good salary, almost like a nurse, but nurse's assistant. So, but anyhow, so that was my opportunity this week, and turn it down because of the risk. So you have to weigh the risk. It's like called the risk management. I don't know, a lot of business people study that in business school. So you have to weigh the risk versus the benefit you're gonna get. So so right now the risk went higher because the load, was on me, the risk was on me rather than the person that's hiring me. It's like the companies, they put this workers' compensation in case somebody gets injured. So I don't want to put this lady's health at risk, and not mine either, because something happens to her, I'm gonna get hurt at the same time. So we both gonna be in a messed up situation. And I try to explain that to her daughter, but uh, I don't know. She liked me. I don't know. I told her I have limitation, but she did actually like me because maybe I was kind, soft spoken, and things like that. So, but anyhow, this is the latest for, um, trying to get a place in exchange for room and board. But if any of you is able to do this type of thing, it's a good opportunity. If I find something as a companion, strictly companion, just someone to be there, just presence, that would work for me. So until then, I keep looking and just hanging in there. I'm still renting a room and see how it goes. Anyhow, well, let me know about your thoughts. What do you think about this type of situation? And if you would do it, just to save some money, but then you have to keep in mind the risk if you're doing the full service at that time. Anyhow, well, leave me a comment, and this is what I have for you today. Please put a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.